Hey, how's it going? This is Future with Love Systems. Got a really cool treat here today. I'm going to be talking to big business about humor and improv for pickup. And I don't know, big business has been my wing for a couple years in New York City, and he's been doing improv professionally for a long time. And so this is a really good treat for you guys. It's sort of a little preview of a class he's putting together. And I really want to say thank you, big business, for agreeing to share your thoughts and stuff on this.
No problem, man. It's a pleasure.
Rock and roll. So I guess the first thing I want to ask is, why do you think it's important? I have my ideas, and I'm a super genius. So I feel like. I don't know anybody who's really good with girls who isn't funny. I feel like whether it's Savoy or Braddock or Mr. M or Soul or you or me, Mystery, Sin, like everybody I know who gets it on is a funny dude, and so. What do you think? What do you think about that? I just feel like it's a critical skill.
Well, I think that one of the things you're accomplishing when you prove that you are funny is that in a very subtle way you're showing that you have the ability to work within the accepted social parameters of society, that you are socially calibrated, as we say. A lot of what makes something funny is, and especially when you're being funny at a bar with somebody that you've never met before, is being able to comment on and adequately and deftly play within all those social mores and show that you are well aware of where certain boundaries are and whether or not you decide to fuck with them or not is sort of like, part of the joke of what you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. No, so do you think it's that, or do you think it's also a lack of concern for social mores? Because I know that some of the things you and I have said we would be arrested for in certain contexts. There's a line of inappropriateness that
exactly
we
the
all
point.
Cross.
That's exactly the point, though, because we deliver the material in a way that shows that we understand where the line is. We're just choosing to ignore it. Mm-hmm. And to play up another point, that shows a certain lack of reactiveness. It shows a certain lack of being able to be affected by the people that you just meet at a bar. And also it shows the importance that you put on enjoying yourself at the bar, which is an incredibly attractive quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. So, going back to that, as far as the importance of it goes, so being funny is important. So, point blank, gun to your head, can you make people funny?
Absolutely. Not everybody's going to be Chris Rock, obviously. Not everybody's going to be Jerry Seinfeld, but there are some very, very simple things that a lot of people can do to just become funnier.
I would love to be funny. How?
As somebody who spends a lot of time with you, I would love it if you were funny as well.
So,
when you mentioned people like Mr. M and people like Soul, who you say everybody that we have worked with and everybody that we know through the company and that we've worked with in the past has a certain element of being funny to them. But especially those guys, especially Mr. M and Soul, who I've talked to about this before, have basically said that this is something that they have worked on. This is something that they did not do naturally. And while especially someone like Soul, his main, qualities that he initially tries to get attraction with are not necessarily humor, it is something that he still uses. It's one of the tools in his arsenal. And it is something that he worked on.
Well, so we've said that humor is important, laid that down. What do you think the role of learning something like improv is? Because first of all, just so we all have a common vocabulary, what would you say improv is? Well, for somebody, for the uninitiated, for the finance guy or the toll booth worker who's listening to this.
For those who want to understand it in sort of theatrical context, there is theatrical improv and comedic improv, which happens in theaters all across the country, where people get up on stage and make things up and create a theatrical experience without the benefit of having planned things out beforehand or a script. In the purpose of real life, improv is really something that we all do every day, where we don't actually plan out the conversations we have with our friends and with people that work at Starbucks. They just sort of happen, you know. However,
Wait, you talk to the people at Starbucks?
Well, when I order my coffee, I say, "Can I have some coffee?" I didn't plan that out with them. I didn't sit down and say, "Hey, when I order my coffee..."
I just gesture and snap.
Boy, coffee! Bring it.
Venti now!
Oh, but that's my point, is that we didn't sit down and I didn't say, "Hey, I'm going to say, can I have a cup of coffee?" And then you say, "What size would you like?" And then I'll say, "I would like a venti." And then you say, would you like room for milk in that?" It's just an understanding that we have. Mm-hmm. And we base our next sentence after what's happened the previous sentence. That's one of the things that we teach when we're teaching theatrical improv, is how to sort of like mimic that process on stage. However, where this comes into effect in pickup and meeting women in bars is that, first of all, there are a lot of really excellent routines that we teach to get people the opportunity to be able to vibe and to be able to create a really great connection with somebody in a bar. But using routines specifically is a little bit of a chore. You have to be able to write the interaction and be able to plan for different occurrences happening, and it tends to be a little bit more work than it needs to be. Whereas if you can roll with the punches and sort of think on your feet when you're talking to a girl in a bar, you can have a little bit more energy and you can have a little bit more fun with it.